Thanks for the F Shack.
Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? How you know who we are?
What's this? They call it the podcast?
Morning Good.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's me with the boner on the front.
Welcome to Morning Good.
All right, and we're here with Paddy Defino.
Hey, and I'm here with Michael Good.
Yeah, because James Pontillo bailed.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, I thought it was tomorrow."
Yeah,
I know he sounds like Walt Jr.
You've seen the the way his brain works. Like he doesn't understand days.
No, not at all,
Yeah.
dude. I had a friend who he's in jail now. Great guy, but he didn't. He didn't understand months. Like senior year of high school, he was like, "Yeah, dude, I can't." He's like, "I can't." I think even in college, he's like, "Is it March comes after
Yeah.
April, right?" And I was like, "Dude, this is insane. Like, what day did you miss that this was like?" By the way, I also respect him for bullshitting his way through life with not, because
Yes.
I know when you don't know information and you just agree to it and how hard that struggle is.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I have to lie now and make people think I know something I don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially with a job, dude. It's like you'll listen to your boss say something and you're not picking up any of it.
No, you're like, yes, absolutely, yes. And then you do it wrong and you give it back to him. They're like, no, you have to do it like this. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Of course.
And then you
yeah.
just keep doing it wrong
Yeah.
until someone else steps in and picks it up.
Well, that's when like you rely on like a woman who is in the meeting too, because you're like, there's no way she's not listening.
I know.
Somebody brought that up. Like women take the most incredible notes on things.
Yeah, they do. They're the best type of person.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with them.
Nothing wrong.
Nothing. And I stand by that.
Yeah.
And
There's no holes. Well, I guess,
well,
yeah. Okay, but there's no.
but they're the best kind of holes.
exactly. Even when they have holes inside of them, they're wonderful.
Yeah. I like how your friend like doesn't he like that is the thing, like if you miss certain days in school, like when you're really young, like you can just not know how a clock works. Like you,
Dude, that's like the most vital information your whole life is like the first days of
but it's
school.
like they do it like in one day and then they don't really go, they just assume you know forever.
yeah.
And like I get in high school that makes sense because you do shit that you're never gonna do ever.
Yeah, that's why. Because but the stuff you're elementary school, they're like, look, we have to get you to function.
Yeah.
So you can't. This is like important stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have to like. We have to make it so you're worth talking to.
Yes.
Because that's the worst. Is like people aren't really real people until like 7 is then they gain a conscience and they're like, all right, you
Yeah.
can actually have a conversation.
Yes.
But before that, she's like, and it's just
Yeah,
it's the most
exactly.
annoying thing.
Your friend is like a ethereal being. Like he's like he just doesn't run by the Gregorian calendar.
Oh yeah.
He like exists in nature, and he's like he's just like he's
well,
like a
now
Native
he's in
American.
jail. Now
Yeah.
months are meaningless to him.
exactly.
So.
Now you actually don't want to know time.
Yeah. Now it's just out the window. Yeah.
He just goes every day. He's like, "Am I going out yet?" He's like, "No, you still have 3 years." He's like, 3 years. Okay, yeah. Has no idea.
Yeah,
How
I
many-
hope he gets. I can't get into details about it much, but it's funny because I was talking to Chris Bazemore. He goes, "Oh yeah, you know Chris Bazemore?"
No.
He's like, "Oh yeah, is he? Does he say he's gonna get out soon?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, he'll say that for the next 12 years." He's like, "I have a friend in jail." He's like, "They're always like,
Yeah.
real soon I'll be coming
Did
out."
he do a big thing? You don't have to tell me.
No.
because-
I'm
Okay.
not getting into it. But
Yeah, dude, I could never. I don't know. I wouldn't survive in jail. Like
No.
jail is built for people who like deserve to be there. Maybe not like always they deserve because obviously,
dude, how bad is that to be wrongly accused in jail? You're
I
like, you
know.
literally just have the worst.
because you're
like-
not equipped. Like usually the people who are like
You know,
who-
people say sometimes though. Like I know, what's it called? Like Mike Tyson said, he's like, I didn't rape that woman, but I'm such a fucked up person that I do belong here anyway. So you wonder if a lot of people get
Damn.
accused of stuff because
Yeah.
they have to bring up your track record. They're like, look, this guy also beat the shit out of an old lady.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, so maybe enough things you do add up.
Yeah,
Because I wonder how many
yeah.
completely innocent people go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like.
Do you
weed
think if you added up
charges-
the crimes of your life, you could be put in jail?
Like the thing is, most of my crimes are like probably like an hour to an afternoon in prison.
Yeah.
So like I think maybe I'd serve like a week total.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, have I ever driven drunk? Yes.
But dude, 1 week in prison, like I'm gonna have a shaved head, big fucking swastika around my back.
immediately.
Like, 'cause I'm gonna fold to whoever I'm around. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
I need safety in this place.
Yeah, that's always interesting when everybody's like, no, dude, I would totally just
Yeah.
stand up to the neo-Nazis and the Crips and say, hey, guess what, pals? I don't want neither of this. It's like, I don't know. It's like a knife. I think it's tough. It depends on like, if they go, we're going to stab you if you don't join this gang,
Yeah.
then I would wrap my head around it and say, you know what I'll do? I'll join the neo-Nazis that just to survive. And then when I get out,
Yeah.
I'll use my money. I'll counterbalance it. I'll use my voice to help Jewish
Yeah.
people in a way or black people in a way.
Exactly. Dude.
Yeah, because no matter what, your brain's not going to find a way for you to justify joining
No.
or
No.
not justifying. Like it's like no matter what. I think there's very few people that are just like But I hear a mixed thing though, dude. I hear this weird thing where it's like apparently a lot of people. I think it really depends on the prison itself. So apparently, like I was listening to this guy. I've really gotten into this like just fringe society podcasts, which are fucking awesome. It's like they had Richard Spencer on, who used to be a Nazi and now he's not. Now he's like a Biden guy.
Yeah.
I don't know I'll get into that in a second. But then they have like
Imagine like he switched and he's like, I'm Dick Spencer now.
yeah.
Richard Spencer was the old.
was a
me.
monster. Yeah. But so like all these fringe podcasters, like they'll have that. This episode they had like a white blood on. And he was talking about going to prison. It was really interesting. So he was in Florida in prison.
Yeah.
He was like this guy from Boston, which is also so funny to hear a white guy from Boston who thinks he's black but still has a Boston accent.
Yeah.
It's so weird. He's like, yeah, what's up, motherfucker? And I'm like, this is the most confusing thing. He's like, yeah, so this motherfucking guy grabbed the car. I'm like, what is, it's the most confusing. But it makes sense. You listen to him and I'm like, oh, you sound like you think you're black, but you're also from Boston.
Yeah, the only job you can have with a Boston accent that like lines up is if you're like shoveling roadkill out of like the side of the road. Then it's like, yeah, that seems like it aligns.
Oh yeah.
But if you're like, I know I teach like molecular theory, and I'm just
molecular
like,
theory,
the fucking atoms are flying around. It's like, dude, like nobody's gonna retain any of that.
And it's so
shit.
funny too because it's like. That is the exact same struggle that people with like Southern accents have. It's like the same thing because it's like you can be way more intelligent than me, but people will stereotype you as a certain thing just because of the way you. It's like you could go through years of studying, but no matter what, that accent people will look down on you for it.
Yeah, dude. We always talk about white privilege and all this stuff. What about Northern privilege?
Interesting.
Like, because Southern, you have a lack of ability to climb. You can't have a guy with a
if
Southern
you're just
accent
from the state of Alabama. I think you're stupid. It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like completely fucked up because like I guarantee you, there are. I am by no means. I've never taken an IQ test. I do not think I'm an intelligent person. But for some, I'm sure there's scientists in Alabama. But for some reason, I hear that and I just assume you're a dumbass, which is totally wrong. Like that's just as bad as being like you're from Mexico.
Yeah.
You're probably this or that. You know? It's like you're literally taking a plot of land and saying because you're from here, you think like this.
Yeah.
And then people like to defend it and they go, well, you get enough guys to act like a dumbass. I'm like, that's the same argument as like racism.
The unfortunate thing too is like we're probably getting to a point in the world, maybe in the next like 200 years, where we all speak like the same language.
Yeah.
And like kind of sound the same and act the same. But like
it'll be Mandarin.
It'll be Mandarin. But like which group of people has no bias in their language? There's none. Like everyone has something. So we're going to have to like choose one of them.
That sounds the best.
That sounds the best.
Yeah. Because like
dude,
British accent, you sound intelligent, but you also sound like a fucking douche.
I know. But dude, if aliens show up, we're going to want like a British dude to like talk to him.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
We can't have somebody like, that non-distinct cultural accent. You need like someone who can like articulate things. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's like the beauty of this world.
Well, I think they don't speak the whole I'm like so deep into aliens, dude. I'm like it's
you're like they don't
they don't speak it. Well,
they speak in lights and
yeah. They apparently do the telekinesis, so they just like You just
Oh,
hear
dude,
their
that's
thoughts.
the worst. They're gonna just see me.
You say that like that happens often.
Well, like they're gonna show up and just gonna be staring at this alien's fat ass, and they're gonna be like, "Well, I don't think these guys are developed."
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. Because like your thoughts are crazy. You're like, put your dick in my. You think crazy.
I know, dude.
Thoughts are crazy. It's like
Yeah.
It's constantly just a firing of like, what if I stab that baby in the face? They just wild. So like aliens are gonna be like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, maybe they're like smart enough to know that we have a filter as well.
Yeah,
and, like
yeah,
that
yeah.
these ideas pass through it.
Because you also have opposing thoughts, especially that's something I have to learn with OCD. It's like you have like what OCD is. Everybody has crazy thoughts, but you take those crazy thoughts and you put now value to them.
Yeah.
So you now go, because I had this thought, I am gonna be a serial killer. Because I
Yeah.
had this thought, I'm a racist or that. So
Yeah.
like, but everybody has those crazy thoughts. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think they get crazier too if you don't say any of them?
I like to think that, because I really hate people that act like they just like don't, like people at comedy shows that groan. I'm like, what did you think? It's like you took a shit in the toilet and you looked at it this morning. That came out of your fucking body.
Yeah.
And then at least 10 people here have seen a gangbang on their phone in the last week.
There's nothing more offensive coming out of your body than a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
There's nothing I can say that's worse than like defecating.
Yeah.
Like, that's gross.
It's disgusting.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah. But it's like everybody does. We're all fucking disgusting. But people would just love to cover it up and just be like, no, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Heavens no. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think, in a certain point in comedy, we're not going to go by our like real names anymore. I think we're going to have like monikers.
Wait, sorry,
like-
I just pictured an alien doing comedy and he's just staring at them. They're all just dying laughing. He's just, look at that alien's fucking murdering up there. He's just like,
yeah, the microphone's like nowhere to be found. He's just like-
He's just staring the thoughts in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, that would suck. He's just loaded up with Chat GPT.
Yeah. Well, also, I've yet to read a Chat GPT joke that's actually funny. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
they're taking over stand up. It's like, really? They are? Because I haven't heard one good joke from Chat GPT.
Yeah, I guess it'll get better, but like I don't know. There's no personal touch. It's just like
Yeah.
shit that people have
Which
already
I think
done.
is so much of stand up. Like, I think there's certain things that, like, you can. Like, they couldn't make a movie like fucking Beau is Afraid. Now that it's been made, they can make a copy of it. So
Yeah.
you can do. I think it will push originality. Because
Yeah.
like now it's like, yeah, music. It's like people are like, oh, Chappie, you can take over music. It's like, yeah, but not music that hasn't been made. Everybody's like, look, here's Kanye singing
Yeah.
a Green Day song. I'm like, those are two things that are already made, and
Yeah.
it sounds terrible.
Also, I heard a guy wrote the lyrics for that that Drake song that like blew up.
No.
There was like a Drake and it was like Drake and The Weeknd, and there was this AI that like made this song. It basically made the beat and everything, and then it sounded like it was Drake and The Weeknd singing it, but it wasn't. So everyone was like freaking out. They're like, "Holy shit! Like the music is done. There's no way we're gonna be able to like come back from this. Like, why would you pay an artist?" But some guy wrote all the lyrics for that and just used the AI to like do their voice.
Yeah. So like certain things like that, but it's like I don't think like they'll make Marvel movies. You know what I mean? They'll do shit like that just has no value to it. Like I like them, but like the level of I don't know. I've heard the new Guardians was good, but just the level of like shit. They're like literally, it's like fucking Walt Disney just shitting down our faces. It's like just no. It's like literally, it's insane.
Unfortunately, and we kind of like that a little bit.
Oh yeah,
we like it a little bit, and then it's gonna get to a point where we don't, and then I think it'll come back around. Dude.
Yeah. It'll get to the point where it'll become like anybody mentions a superhero and they'll get fucking stabbed because it's just so. It's so saturated. But then it's like, dude, we saw fucking Beau is Afraid, and I was like, that movie.
Yeah, dude,
That was one of the funniest movies I've seen in so long.
One of the funniest. Where also like you're on the verge of vomiting the entire time.
Yeah.
Because dude, I don't know. I think about that movie like every day now.
Dude, I know. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it as a listener, see it, but also just realize that you're going to be uncomfortable for the entire fucking thing.
For the whole time. I'm very curious of my girlfriend thinking because she has no anxiety. Like she just doesn't have anxiety.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Do you have anxiety?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Everybody I know has it. Even like the most not quality, but like people that have their shit together, they have anxiety.
Yeah.
So it's so weird to me. She's like, yeah, I just don't really like.
Yeah, it's the same thing with depression. When people don't feel depressed, I'm like, what is that like?
Yeah, that's
what is
insane.
it? What is it like to just like not feel like this like hatred?
You know what though? I don't know if they have the same highs.
Maybe
Because I'll have these like emotions. I might have bipolar. I don't think I do, but I'll randomly just have like just so much especially like after having like a good set on stage.
Yes.
Like I was shadow boxing in the shower the other day because people liked my jokes. I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, this is great. Yeah. It's like fucking midnight and I'm just taking a shower alone. I'm like, that's fucking
Yeah.
right. But I don't know if people that don't get depressed have that. You know what I mean?
No, I think they just kind of coast, but that's like nice. I envy that, dude. I wish I had
A little
that.
bit. I'm very peaks and valleys kind of guy.
Yeah, you're like a Nature Valley bar.
Yeah, just crumbs fucking all over the place. Yeah. No, I like that that life that's like that has the real lows and the real highs.
Yeah.
And I mean I'd rather not the lows, but it's like nobody
You need the lows, dude.
yeah,
You
it
need
amplifies the
lows.
good times. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
At least that's what I keep telling myself. You know, it might not be true. I might
Yeah.
be lying to me.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? Like in the Holocaust, like if I were a Jew in the Holocaust,
Right.
I would just say I'm a Christian.
Yeah, but they would check their foreskins.
But couldn't you be like I've converted?
No, because it was the race of Judaism they didn't like.
Oh, okay.
I like you thinking about this all day. You're like, this would be a great thing for me to bring up on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because Adolf Hitler didn't have a problem with the religion.
Because even
His
like
problem with their culture and like
Yeah.
their because it's like a culture and a religion and like there's an ethnic group aspect to it.
I guess it's just hard to imagine being in the Holocaust and like not like
Because it didn't happen.
it was horrible if it did happen.
Yeah.
But I guess I just don't like if you're a Jewish person, you don't believe in heaven and hell, right?
No, I think you do.
You do.
You do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, how do you go through that and not be like, these people should be going to hell?
Oh, for sure. Well, I think what happens too is like, I think the crazy part of it is like for a while I was like, oh, you know, I was like, I need to stop being so negative because like I was like I've had some friends die and it really does fuck with you a little bit. And it's like not like a lot. It's like people have but I keep going. People have had way worse lives than you. I was like,
Yeah.
there's people that have made it through the Holocaust. I've met a Holocaust survivor. It's
Yeah,
like
dude.
that's insane.
There's people who deliver Uber Eats.
Not that are Holocaust
That's fucking
survivors. That would be
nuts.
so, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Could you imagine fucking be like, I literally made it through the fucking Holocaust. Now I'm
Yeah.
just like delivering chicken
You're
sandwiches.
just like, you burnt my toast.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
yeah.
oh, burnt? You're gonna tell me about burnt.
But I would talk to him, and like some of them are like, you know, happy. In my mind, I'm like, who am I to be depressed, you know? And then I looked up like suicide rate with like people that have, and it's not like this thing where like you went through it. Now you're like, now I have a better perspective
Yeah,
on life.
no,
It's just
no.
like anything else. It's like
I
some
know,
people come
dude.
out and they're like, I'm really appreciative of my life. And some people kill themselves because like,
Yeah.
that was just so atrocious.
We've really had it so easy, but that kind of adds to the fact where you're like, why am I still not happy if it's this
yeah,
easy? Like,
yeah, dude. That's that extra little bit where you go, my life's great. Now that's more depressing.
I
that
know.
yeah, that
Because
I'm
it's
not
like I'm such
happy.
a pussy.
Yeah. Because you're like, now I'm a loser and I'm sad.
Yeah, like,
and yeah,
I wish someone would walk into the train and just like shoot someone next to me to validate
yeah,
the fact that I'm scared all the time.
yeah.
Dude, I was actually on the train the other day and like it's getting crazy on the subway. Like, because now it's like the Wild West where it's up to like I don't know if you've seen this like Jordan Neely thing with that like Marine guy who
Yeah,
like,
some
choked out
Marine choked a homeless guy.
a homeless guy who attempted to throw someone on the tracks.
Oh,
From
that's what happened?
From what I understand, he attempted to throw someone on
Okay.
the tracks.
Now, for listeners, this is coming from the source itself. Paddy Defino.
yeah,
.org.
yeah. I read the story and then I switched things in my head that I think are correct. And no, I really didn't read too much, but from what I heard, he like tried to hurt.
But why is he
someone.
getting choked in the train then?
That's why I'm a little confused. Maybe it was like between the cars or something.
Okay.
But he was like cause it. But I don't really have a take on it. I don't think you should murder someone,
yeah, of course.
even though like if there's anyone to murder, it's the homeless. But I'm not gonna, But like what it has now, like it's up to the passengers on the train to like handle these situations because there's just
Yeah.
not enough security and there's so much mental illness. And I was on the train the other day, and there were these there was this homeless guy like yelling at this woman and like kind of scared her off the train. And then these 3 teenagers started like fucking with the homeless guy and they were like teasing him and stuff. And like he was getting all pissed. He was out of his mind. Like he was so beyond repair, But he ends up walking off the train and the kids follow him and he gets onto a different car and they followed him on. And then the next stop, all of a sudden the doors open and like 15 people come sprinting in through the doors, like between the 2 cars. And the look on their face is like fucking crazy. And one of them's like those kids like shot that guy. Like they're yelling
What?
that, and like we're all like freaking out, and the door shuts, and we see the kids coming. And dude, I have a moment where I'm like, do I run and try to like grab the door? But I'm like, but you also don't know what's real and what's like people putting in their head. So like none of us did anything, and the kids came in, and dude, like one of them had his hand like in his fucking
Jesus.
sweatshirt and stuff, and like the people were freaking out, and then the train stopped. The kids got off and ran away. And like the everyone gets off the train, is like looking around, and the conductor comes out, and she's like, "What happened?" We're like, "We think like someone got shot." Like that's what people heard, like a pop or whatever. And they go in, and the homeless guy wasn't there. I guess they just like twisted a bottle and fucking shot a bottle. But dude, either way, like it, like you have that moment where you're like, "Fuck!" Like, what am I gonna die? Like,
Yeah, and you're like, am I the hero? The answer is no.
no, I
We're
was not the hero.
Because I was thinking about this too. So like, everybody wants to think like I'm the hero. I would do the right thing. I would step in. But a lot of times, heroes, we give them a lot of credit. But how sane are they?
No, they're not.
Right. So because it's like a lot of like these Marines that are like are kind of out of their mind.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
they're like.
You have to be broken as a man. They break you.
Yeah.
Into this thing that like you're designed to fucking just like execute without like really thinking about it and like follow commands and shit. And I think a lot of those people that do heroic things are in a state that where they're like they either have like nothing to live for, or they're just like, dude, like they've had shitty things happen to them or whatever.
Oh yeah. So
there's no
they're
one whose life is going really well who's like,
gonna
I'm gonna risk it all.
sacrifice
Yeah.
themselves. Yeah.
So like it does take that out of you.
And it's also like a lot of the school shooting stuff. It's like everybody's like, oh well, he threw his body in the way to save kids. I was like, well,
because he didn't hand in his homework, dude. He's
easy way out always. But it's like, I think there are. If you run into the school, then it's like, dude, that's insane. Like you're a fucking hero. You could have ran away, but you didn't. But I think maybe there's some situations. This is me just justifying not being a hero.
Yeah.
But it's like if somebody's shooting and then you jump in the way and try to take over, it's like that's your only option actually.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a closed space, you're gonna get killed.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna get shot by this guy. So either you stop him or you die. You die either way.
Yeah.
It's not
a little
like
fight or flight kind of.
right. So people are like, oh, this guy like ran towards, and it is heroic.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like also like. I think a lot of people would do that. Like,
Yeah.
And that's the sense I would be a hero. It's like I'm in a movie theater and the guy in front. We all know how. But it's like if somebody's already shooting,
Yeah.
and it's either the wall or towards the shooter, you're gonna go toward. Like it's like I think a lot of people would. Do the right
You're not
thing.
just gonna back down.
But if you go into a school that's getting shot up, then you're a hero.
That's a choice because you're already safe, and then you elect to put yourself in
Right.
harm's way again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like. But those are the people I think that like kind of want to die a little bit. Like they're like,
Yeah.
they're like, maybe this will give me some kind of like purpose.
Or I think of like a good thing where like they've fucked up so much in their life that they're like, I gotta do one last good thing.
Yeah.
And then they like do that.
Yeah.
That always revs me up. Like you seen Logan,
I
that
know.
X-Men
Yeah.
dude, like that, where he's like, I've done so much bad stuff and I gotta do one last good thing. You're like, hell yeah.
What's the line at the end, dude, where he's like drinking? They're like, "Oh, you're drinking a lot. What are you drinking to forget?" He's like, "No, to remember." I was like, "Ah!" Fucking dude. When I see movies, like I get like, dude, especially since I stopped drinking, I get so affected by movies now.
Yeah, dude.
Like I'll cry all the time at movies.
Constantly.
Like,
Logan makes me cry every time. You know what's funny? You said that reminded me of. I remember there's a movie Barbed Wire, that Pam Anderson action movie,
yeah.
where I remember she had a quote. She's like, "Don't drink."
By the way, when I think of a Pam Anderson action movie, there's a lot of nudity involved when I think of that.
Yeah. Nobody's booking that woman a movie not being like, show your fucking tits. She's like, this is an animated Disney cartoon. They're like, we'll edit it in post. We're gonna put him in there.
Yeah.
I'm doing a voice of a cat.
But your cat's gonna have huge tits.
Yeah, but yeah, she's like, she looks at the guy, she goes, drink to remember, not to forget. And then in my mind, I was like, I'm never gonna drink when I'm sad. I'm only gonna drink when I'm happy. Pam Anderson said it in an action movie.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Dude, that was that time when it was like, my parents had Net Nanny on the computer.
Is that like a cam thing that you can like see?
No. That would be funny. It's like we're gonna watch to see if you're jerking off. No, it was like Net Nanny would like block like pornographic websites.
Oh, okay.
So like with the TV it was like HBO. It's like you had to pause whatever movie, and like I'd sit through like a whole movie because you can't fast forward. So I watched tons of films just for boobs.
Just with the remote like ready to go.
Yeah. You pause it, then whack off.
Yeah. And then you have to like be selective about which one and
Yeah,
like how long. And dude, you can't pause too long because then you're kind of like you're like this sucks. I got to see something moving a little bit.
Yeah. Just rewind and pausing. Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. I can't like see things now and not have like dude, music too. I fucking cry when I listen to like old songs. And
What's the song that gets you?
dude, there's a song by the Strokes. I can't think of it. It's on like their newest album.
Someday, yeah. All my fears they come to me.
It's one where it's like I won't let all, and you always are.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
I will live for you. Dude, as soon as he hits that, I'm just like, yeah. Dude, I'm like, I will live for you, Mr. Strokes.
Dude, I cry to I'll listen to there's a lot. Some Kanye songs will make me cry.
Yeah.
And Words in Paris every time. But no, like some of the stuff on Donda, I'm like, this is really like
Yeah, there's some heavy
intense
shit.
music.
Dude.
Come to life.
Do you like sad music?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
I've been really getting into emo music.
Really?
I never like I liked it a little bit as a kid, but I always kind of prefer like the pop punk where it's like I'm skating and my girlfriend dumped me.
Yeah.
But now I'm listening to stuff where it's like, and I bleed and like really dark
bleed
stuff.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's dude. You
My
ever listen?
Chemical Romance is like a real. I love them. Dude. I never
Yeah.
really I liked a couple songs by them, and now I'm like, dude, they're really putting it out there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that guy. By the way, Joe Rogan's cousin is the lead singer. I guess
Oh,
related
really?
to Joe Rogan. Yeah, they've like never met, I think, or something like that. But apparently they're
Wow.
related. Yeah.
That's interesting. Did you ever listen to Tame Impala?
Yeah.
Dude, I
Are
was
they
like,
sad?
yeah, they're
I
like,
just think of bam, 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 bam,
Yeah,
bam,
but,
bam.
though their album Lonerism, it's called, is like about. It's like it always like resonated with me because it's like the people who kind of like live in their head and like they see the world around them, but they just like it just doesn't really make sense, you know? Like
Yeah.
and like that album always like really resonates because there's so much about like when you're like in love with someone and then you can't like for some you can't like express it to them or something like that, so you're just kind of like you just like have this love and admiration for someone that you know you're never gonna like express, and like there's so much like that, and it's like, dude, it's just it fucking makes a young boy like be well up, dude, a young romantic swell up. I well up and swell up. Imagine every time you came you cried.
I can't imagine a world where I don't do that. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I almost cried one time jerking off because it was like, well, this is, dude, it was like I got a while,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, my body was just like, oh, like I was like, it was like almost a religious experience. Like I felt like you know when you close your eyes and there's like a vibrant pinkness,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean. It's like almost like
Yes, dude. There's
Yeah.
really no drug like masturbation.
yeah, and it's like even when I have sex, I still pull out, and the masturbating is when I come.
Yeah.
So it's like that's still it's like you know the perfect angle, and it's just like yeah. I probably do it too often.
Yeah. Are you like accurate when you pull out? Like, are you
Yeah. Dude, I've always been terrified of having kids. I'm like so scared of
So,
having kids.
yeah,
But
so-
that's just because I have high hopes for myself. I'm like, no, I can't have kids this early. I'm going to be a superstar. Like in my mind. It's not real responsibility. It's delusion that
Yeah.
I will ruin some amazing career if I have kids too early.
I'm not good at it. I'm not good
You're
at
not gonna pull out?
No, I almost refuse to do it sometimes.
Well, it's like I for me, it's like a very I don't know. I'm a very rule based person. I'm like, you don't drive drunk. And I said earlier I drove drunk. I drove drunk one time, and it was because I woke up drunk the next day,
Yeah.
and I didn't know, and so I kept driving. But it's like you don't drive drunk, you don't bust loads inside of people, you don't fuck people who are too fucked up. It's like I got a list of rules.
The
I'm like,
3 rule.
Yeah. And it's like because it's like that's how you make a person.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm aware of that, so it's like I'm like I don't want to make a person.
Yeah. I like want a child though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Dude, I
why?
think like my destiny is to like quit comedy and raise a child.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot to fall back on because you got a full.
Yeah, I think like I don't know, dude. I just feel like I don't know. I'm 28. You're what, 26? Like there's not much.
By the way, Jason David shared a picture of me the other day and said, "Michael Good's 33 years old, has this long hair," and I've never been more like offended by something. I was like, I'm not 33, I'm 26, and I've accomplished a lot for a 26-year-old. It's just so fucking stupid. I was like, I've never been bothered that much. Then somebody saying I was older than I was.
Yeah, it is like dude, with comedy, it's so devastating.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you think there's this timeline, but like
There's really
realistically,
not.
there's not. Like there's some people who obviously pop really early, but like I think like it kind of like wane. Like some people have their moment, and you got to be ready for your moment. But like, but dude, when you're like I'm coming up on 30, and I'm like, dude, I'm not even like. I don't even do enough bar shows. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, should I just quit? Should I move to Austin? Get on Kill Tony?
Yeah.
Insult Tony Hinchcliffe? Earn my way up the ranks? With, what's his name? Fucking
Red Band?
Hans Kim. Should I befriend Hans Kim? Yeah. But like, I don't know.
I'm going to give you a golden ticket now. I really liked you, Paddy. He's such a weird guy.
Yeah, it is like a weird system they have. There.
That was the funny thing about Hans, dude. It's like, dude, he was doing like open mics when he was here, and he'd been doing comedy for 9 years, and then it was like, and then it just explodes. So it's like if you have patience, I think it is important. But it's also like, dude, it's like one of those things where it's like, there are some people. I don't know, I think there are some hilarious people that just never have a career, but then there's also like, I don't know. It's like that's not like I don't think it's a boatload.
No,
I think there are certain people who are really funny, but I'm like, look, this person's hilarious, but they're not doing anything interesting enough for anybody to be like, all right, this guy changed the game completely, which sucks because it's like you have to be funny and you have to be which I'm not doing. I do very traditional stand up, which I would
same
but I would like to try to figure out how to do something different and creative.
Yeah, that's like my goal. My goal, I'm like it takes longer, obviously, because like you fail a lot.
Yeah,
like, that's the whole thing is failing, and like you get better from failing, but like you're not going to just become this like thing that nobody has seen before by just like doing well all the time. Like it doesn't lead to that.
Yeah, you gotta try weird things and you gotta like mix it up. Well, that's what I'm thinking about Louis is like he's very he has some traditional stand up, but he also has some very not traditional. Like he does like every kind of comedy, and you're like, all right, well, he also did kind of a boring act for like 10 years and then figured out how to.
Yeah, he was a boring comic for a while.
Yeah.
Like people like you see clips of him, and he's like, yeah, I was at a stop sign, and I was wondering why is there 8 sides to a stop sign. But why is there 8? Like,
was there a guy
who chose the 8?
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're like, who is this guy?
Like this guy sucks, and he looks weird.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that like you can pivot like that.
Oh,
but like now I like his new he evolves like crazy, and I like that he does like jokes still. Like every once in a while he'll throw a joke in that's just like stupid.
What do you think he's gonna have an hour? He goes, this is his new form of comedy. He has Mongolian throat singing like that, like dude,
Mongolian
he's
throat.
dude. If you just did an hour of that, see, I really respect people doing things for the sake of it.
Yeah,
like, I'm getting cornrows in a couple weeks. It's gonna be
it's finally coming.
It's gonna be so inconvenient.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the most annoying.
You're gonna look like a dumbass,
dude. I'm gonna look so ridiculous. Cornrows, by the way, cat eye contacts, a chin strap beard, and little 8-ball beads at the end of my cornrows. It's gonna look insane. It's gonna hurt my eyes.
Yeah,
but for the bit, by the way, this is the
You're not gonna be allowed on airplanes.
Yeah. But it'll be funny. People don't have that commitment level that I'm trying to do more because, like, dude, you'll do shows sometimes. You're like, I really should make fun of.
Yeah, I don't stand out at all. Like that's the thing I always feel like. There's nothing about.
That's the funniest thing too. Is like this trip. My buddy bought his second Airbnb. Because he's like, I don't really want to be in like.
He got an Airbnb and B, dude.
Yeah. he got this Airbnb and he's like, oh, I didn't realize I'd be sharing bathrooms. He goes, I'm just gonna get another one. He bought a 3-story house that's like insane. And then my other friend texted in the group chat this picture of him doing coke with the dwarf. It's like 2 p.m.
Yeah,
and he's like doing coke with the dwarf. He's like, can this guy come Memorial Day? I'm like, of course. Yeah. The more insanity, absolutely.
Yeah. He's like a Howard Stern kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, that's how I like it's. And I really try to wrap my head about that. I'm like, am I using this door for entertainment? And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's like I think on a general level, I would so much rather hang out with you and I hung out with.
I can't remember his name.
I love that. I'm like, I don't see them just as props. What's his name?
Yeah.
Randy.
Yeah.
But it's like I would so much rather have a conversation with Randy than like some other. So it's like I do value interesting
Yeah.
people more. It's not like this one thing where I'm like, oh, this person's just a prop for this. It's not like
Yeah.
I'd hang out and then just be like, oh, okay, well, just stand here and like
Yeah.
put a gnome outfit on.
And also, we never know. Maybe that's God's creation to make us like happy.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. Yeah. Because it does make you happier. It's like
Yes.
yeah. And
And
I
it-
think he's aware of that too. And Randy's like, yeah, dude, I wear the fucking
Yeah, he
I wear a
was like,
cowboy outfit.
yeah, he was like so much more.
Dude, he's always asking to wear costumes. He's like, yeah, come on, man. Do you want me to dress up like a grapefruit? I'm like, what?
And you're like, yes, but I feel bad.
Yeah, he's
saying
like, nah,
yes.
dude, it's fine. Yeah, I'll dress
There's
up like a
nothing
baby.
more in this world that I want for you to dress up as a grapefruit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hits me. I gotta get him back on, but I gotta pay him.
Yeah.
But I also just want to hang out with him sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, he's a
But you do
fun-
get to pay him in candy corn, so that's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
that's the currency. That would be funny to have a dwarf go into like a bank and give them candy corn, but like straight face it and have them be like, I don't know how to be offensive, but we don't take candy corn. I'm just yell at them.
Yeah. And there's just like a little bank next door. with, like, a candy corn.
Yeah. It's just it's funny. Anybody that's
Yeah.
the funny part of people where they're like, yeah, there's nothing. They're like, there's nothing funny. in it."
Yeah.
It's like it is
then I
funny.
can't like take you seriously as a human being
For sure. Yeah.
because that's like I just don't understand how you don't find that funny.
For sure. Yeah.
But
I don't like I have more evolved humor. It's like yeah, imagine if you did that with other things. You're like, that was a horrible example. There. I'm just moving on. I was like, what are you gonna ride a bicycle without wheels now? And I was just something that doesn't a metaphor that's just random.
Yeah. So anyway, Bo is not afraid.
By the way, this is my favorite thing that somebody brought up. They go, Bo looks like John wears the same shirts as Johnny Salami.
Oh
Yeah. And in my mind, replacing him in that movie is the funniest thing. Him just kind of like just
like
plain facing it.
It's just like people in his apartment. He's like,
Hey, what's up, bro? How's it going, bro?
"Hey, dude, that's my bed. Can you go?" And also, like, as soon as like someone like just like seeing someone die on top of him, he'd be like, "This is like the funniest thing."
By the way, for the listeners who don't know, go look at Johnny Salami on Instagram. He's a hilarious comic. Johnny Salami podcast. He's got a podcast with me, but also just look at his picture while we talk about him, or else you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
But he also do my favorite Johnny Salami post. Here's a picture of him post this girl with some huge tits, and he goes, "I love me some big old titties." And I'm like, dude, you just post a picture of the in the comments like, Johnny, you give her the shocker, and I'm like, who is this woman? He's just, I'm like, I would never imagine me doing that.
No.
Some people post crazy pictures like that. Like I knew this couple in college, and they did like a date night, or we do like the fraternity. We'd have like date functions where they're like, okay, we're all gonna go as this theme, and he went as the wolf, and she went as Little Red Riding Hood,
Yeah.
and she said something like, "Grandma's not the only thing getting eaten tonight." And posted that. I'm like, dude, that is awesome.
That is awesome. It is like he just does it for this moment.
yeah,
Like us laughing about
yeah,
it.
exactly. It's like that is hilarious.
It's so intelligent, dude.
yeah,
It's like way beyond what we can even comprehend.
that is the funny thing that like humor becomes so stupid that it's then funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those things where it's like, oh no, there is something. It's like you're kind of bringing back the thing. It's kind of like when people are like, oh, it's really lowbrow to make fun of people with Down syndrome. I go, well, actually, for long enough, it's been forbidden, so now it's highbrow again. It's never really highbrow, but you're like now it's original because
Yeah.
it hasn't been.
It's if
You're
you're
just
comedy.
defending every episode of this podcast.
Comedy is the one thing that if you're like a dumbass long enough, you're then a genius.
yeah.
Like you can't be like Albert Einstein being like, I think the theory of the universe is purple.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what? And then like 20 years later, they're like, he was right this entire time.
Comedy, you could say things that are so stupid that now it's funny.
Yeah. Or you can just be a fucking idiot like us.
Yeah.
Forever.
But there's that little code that's disguised in me where I'm like, actually,
I know, dude. I know.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I'm like, people, like every time I post like a reel or something, and nobody fucking likes it. I'm like, they just don't
They
understand.
don't get it. Yeah.
They don't get it. And I like don't get other people's reel. Like half the fucking crowd work clips, I'm just like, this sucks, dude.
Yeah.
But it's just a bunch of people in the scene thinking that about each other.
Oh,
Like,
for
we
sure.
all think we suck.
Oh yeah. Everybody's somebody else's douchebag. Like
Yeah,
just for
yeah.
someone looks at Morning Good, and they're like, this fucking idiot.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
okay, dude. You just have to be okay with it, I think.
Yeah. It's I'm having fun. That's what matters.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of that, so the dark corners of the internet I've been looking at, not really the dark corners, but just the interesting interviews.
You've been watching child
Yeah,
pornography.
no. But yeah, they had that Richard Spencer guy. So do you know who that guy is?
So he was a Nazi. Now he's like the Queen of England or something. What is
Yes,
he? Like,
that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. He was like this neo-Nazi. And in college, I remember him because he went to speak at University of Florida. And I went to Florida State. So,
Real quick, what's the difference between a Nazi and a neo-Nazi?
I don't think there's any more Nazis.
Because anytime I think of a neo-Nazi, I think of like a guy who's like wearing like the hood and everything, but like they have like these neon bands.
The Klan
like,
and
like they're ready to
Nazis are two
rave.
different things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so like the Nazis, they're still like, it's weird. Their website's hilarious.
Nazis are like, I'm not wearing that gay outfit.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
the same.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they're totally different things because I think Nazis probably have this like it gets all weird with those people because some of them are like, yeah, this is America, but also I love Adolf Hitler. You're like, how does that make any sense? You're like, how is that?
Yeah.
But some of them
Literally
are like,
the biggest American triumph is like taking down Hitler.
literally our biggest thing is that.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
most American thing is to not like
do you
Hitler.
just hate the British? But then
Yeah.
you're also obsessed with like British heritage. You're like, we're a better culture. It's like, didn't you like when we beat the Brit? What's going on?
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
But I think there's a weird distinction with that because I think that like the Klan is more associated with like Confederacy and stuff like that. Like I think that's
Okay.
they're like they loved that.
Which
period
is,
in America.
is there a more loser thing to hang on to
Oh yeah, it's
than the
so stupid.
Confederate
Dude, I think by the way,
States?
this is across the board. Anybody who has a love for their culture is wrong.
Yeah. yeah, dude.
So it
Yeah.
depends. Oh, okay, so you can love your culture, but a pride.
If you have pride,
it's yeah.
yeah. Because I look, if you're like someone who lives, if you're like an Eskimo
Yeah.
who all you see is Eskimo stuff and you don't have social media, then by all means,
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
should. But if as soon as you're exposed to other cultures,
I love
like,
the idea of an Eskimo going to New York and just having like little like patches with like an igloo on it, and he's like, "This is my fucking shit, dog."
Yeah. Yeah, look at all these less thans.
Yeah,
here.
dude. I go ice fishing every fucking
Yeah,
day.
windows in their houses.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
But it's a weird thing because it's like I understand some aspects of it. It's like the gay pride thing. It's like for so long you were like,
This is wrong.
yeah, and for so long you're like, this is not cool, and then now you're like, fuck you. So I understand that a little bit.
Yeah.
But even like people that are like, I'm proud to be from China. It's like that you didn't know, like, you know what I mean? It's like I think you're doing
Yeah.
something. I think gay pride makes a lot of sense because you're kind of.
I think you should be proud to be alive because your sperm won the race, dude.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
only thing you should be proud of.
Yeah,
The only race is the spermicidal race, dude.
yeah,
Because that's an achievement. That's really the only achievement we've had,
yeah,
And other than that, like where you're born, it doesn't matter. It's just a roll of the dice.
yeah. That is true because it's like people that are like. People are just like, yeah, I'm fucking proud Irish. It's like, well, you did literally nothing to do
Yeah.
that. So like, why are you like? I understand you being like, I like all Irish culture. It's fun. I really
Yeah.
like the music. I like the horrible food.
We were also kind of at a point in history where we can't like make things that much better in like one act, like the only way we like make things better is by like a long like thing where you try to tell people, like educate people and stuff. So it's like that's not as cool as like stealing back your freedom from from being like enslaved, like that. you should
Yeah,
be
yeah. That's a good
proud
point,
of.
yeah.
But we're past that in life, like most people have it really good. And the people that don't have it good, we don't really pay attention to. And we're not doing anything for them either.
Yeah.
And
it's
I'm
funny
not
how
talking
little
about people, I'm talking about people in like third world countries. Like for the most part in America, you have it better than anyone in history, Even if
So I
you're
guess
like
you could
who's
be
less
proud of your ancestors, but how does that work? Is pride always a personal thing? I guess no, you can be proud of other people. So I think
Yeah.
you can be proud of your ancestors that like fought in the civil rights movement, and then proud of yourself for accomplishing things. But like, I guess my problem is just in general people that take themselves very seriously. But that's also hard because I do comedy. So for me to be like, look at these fucking scientists in a
Yeah.
laboratory. Oh, you make a rocket all day. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
dumb for me to also
Yeah, I think it's us compensating for saying
have no white
stupid
culture.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I have no idea where I feel on any of that stuff. You got to just have an opinion on the podcast, and then halfway through making the argument, you're like, I don't stand by any of this. I don't know, man. Be proud to be where you're from. I don't care.
Yeah, dude. We're just running our jaws. Dude.
Yeah.
Running
But I think there's like there's the Nazis, and then there's like
Dude, my nose is like so itchy right now.
yeah.
Do you think it's allergies?
Yeah. I hope to. I thought I was dying for like a week,
Yeah.
and then I'm realizing it's just allergies.
Dude, you know how like shitty of like people we are that like even if I go into like someone else's living room, like my body can't adjust to that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like
yeah.
that's sad. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't know how to fix that, dude.
And when I was a kid, I feel like I was more versatile. Dude, bro, if I could go back to being 17, body wise, I mean, I guess
indestructible.
yeah, I mean, I was smaller probably, but like, I think just like, dude, I was crazy. I would like jump off of things. I don't know. Maybe I'm painting a picture of myself that's braver than I was. I'm just picturing myself jumping off.
Jump off the thing.
I was Batman. No, I'm just picturing, I remember jumping off like I don't know. I did like I jumped off this rock one time into a river. That's my pride. I'm like, yeah, dude. People from fucking Taiwan shouldn't be proud. And then I'm like, well, I jumped off a rock one time.
Yeah, I hit a gainer off a rock.
Yeah.
Where's my freedom? Medal of freedom? Where's my parade?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Back on the pride thing though, like the one thing that does bother me about the Pride Day and everything is it's not about gay people anymore. It's about like it's about like people showing off their bodies. Like if you notice that, like that's not really pride. Like pride is being like I feel proud with like my preferences and everything. Like, but if you're just like wearing like a crazy outfit, like showing off, and you're just like, yeah, I align with.
But you're also. I feel like you're a weird social conservative sometimes. That you're like put the clothes away, and I'm like I think it's fun. Do I see somebody with their dick hanging out? I think it's awesome. I like that excitement, so I don't mind it at all. I'm like, dude, honestly,
yeah, dude,
I don't care how the uglier the better. It's like
well, no, that I'm fine with, but I think it's people who are really hot. It's like you get attention.
Oh, for sure.
You get attention the other 11 months out of the year if it's your friend.
I get what you're saying.
You get attention
a girl
the
with
other
huge tits and like rainbow stickers on who's like bisexual and is like
who's leaning into this to get like attention and stuff that I think is wrong.
Yeah.
Even more wrong.
I don't think bisexual women should be able to contribute to pride. I think they should be banned from the parade.
No, you should not be proud.
No,
you have all the fun in the world.
If I look, this is speaking from I have no experience.
Yeah, we are okay. Can I need to practice this because I'm getting in a lot of trouble lately. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
But I would think being a bisexual woman is the easiest portion of the LGBTQ.
Yes. Which do you think is the hardest?
Being a
because I think that's shifting.
Trans woman who is attracted to men.
Okay.
So you're a woman and you're attracted to dudes. Because I was talking to somebody about this last night. It's really interesting that because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think trans. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What was your?
It's hard to say because, like, I think
it's the hardest to be a straight guy, man.
Dude,
I'm clawing my way through life, brother.
Dude, don't make me say it. No, because obviously it's hard. It's the most difficult, I think, to be trans because it's like not only are you dealing with the social stigma, but then in your body you have this conflict, like. Your body is transitioning to something else, which I could never imagine doing.
Yeah.
But with every faction of like whatever your preferences, whatever your, you see yourself to be, there's like a group of people who are really into that. Like there's a bunch of dudes who like are into like men
chicks
who
with dicks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like you're gonna find your avenue. Like there might be more resistance.
Kind of the beautiful part about the internet. The internet has done a phenomenal job of people getting laid.
Yes.
Now some of that includes pedophiles. But
the other, what's the hardest? 80. A podcaster.
But it's like that other like 90%. It's like that's really a wonderful thing that like, because you imagine how annoying it has to be like, dude, I can't come unless I'm in a dog suit. And before,
but dude, if you find that partner,
and you're like this person,
dude, you have it better than any like. Normal monogamous
put the newspapers
thing.
Down, baby. We're gonna piss in the corner. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah,
you're
gonna have a blast because that's who you are and that's who you want to be, and
If people get really weird about that, they're like, "Oh, what? Now there's gonna be people dressed up as puppies at Pride?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, what is it? It's fun. I don't know."
Yeah, see that I'm fine with.
Yeah.
But dude, put the tits away for crying out loud. There is a God.
Yeah. Yeah, I find a weird thing where I try to figure out how I would want to. You know what you want? You really want people to catch you at a march. You don't
Yeah.
want to post pictures, but you love for somebody to
Yes.
see like, oh, look at Michael, look at him have it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got complicated viewpoints. I'll call my friends gay, but also go to the private. Like, you have that
Yeah,
little,
yeah. No, I agree with this, but don't tell anyone about it.
yeah, dude. I
I'm
was
doing
at
this for my own personal.
I was at like in Florida, I did like the Black Lives Matter protest, and somebody like I was like my rules, I'm not gonna post any fucking pictures because that's like cheesy and like don't do
Yes.
that. And then somebody I knew there took a picture, and I was like, oh yeah, there's that little piece of you that's like, yeah,
That is the perfect thing because like as soon as you post it, it's like null.
yeah,
Everything you thought, everything like null because now you're doing it for your own, and that's the wrong reason.
yeah.
You know, if you're posting about it, that's the wrong reason because everyone agrees with it. Nobody's gonna like see someone who posts something being like, "At Pride, I stand for everyone," and be like,
Dude, I did
"Yeah,
see
you're wrong."
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna do that. You're a fucking idiot.
Dude, I did see somebody though who somebody posted the amount they gave to George Floyd. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, especially since what's he gonna do with it at this point?
Nothing. Yeah. But yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like, dude, no matter what, there's that greedy part in you that wants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You want to be seen. And that's why my goal now, I'm going to only say this one more time. I don't know if I've said in the podcast. My goal is to try less hard to look like a good person because it is so hard not to. But it's also like it comes from it's not a good place. That's a greedy place.
It
It's
is
try
a
to look like
greedy
good
place,
person.
and I think it's like you don't want to look like a bad person, but just like try to stay away from all that.
Yeah, but also try to stop trying so hard because it's like I'll say a joke and they'll be like, okay, well, I got to fix the joke because then people think that I'm racist, sexist, or homophobic. But then I go, okay, well, that's only because I want to look better. That's not a good thing. That's that's.
Do you? Maybe you have the thing. I have like.
Well,
a
we
very,
got like 3 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last thought here. I have a very like self-destructive nature, where like part of me likes when people think I'm a piece of shit because I'm like.
Well, give you
That's
something
the
to fight a little bit, and you're like, yeah, fuck you. I'm actually,
because I don't want to be seen as
What
someone
did you
who-
post that from an iPhone? That is a funny argument, real quick. That is a funny one, real quick, because people were like, oh, yeah, people posted about slave labor on an iPhone. It's like, well, I mean, that's a good way to use the thing. You know what I mean? It's like,
it
what are you
is.
supposed to just be a piece of shit just because everything was built by slaves? It's like, no, it's like you could also be a,
Yeah. But yeah, it's the thing where it's like I don't want to pander, so then I go the exact opposite. And I'm like, I would rather people think I'm a fucking asshole.
Dude, I fantasize about going on CNN and apologizing with the Chinese straw hat on. Like, I just the idea of that. I have little fantasies of my career taking off. They're like, Michael Good's here for an apology, and I'm just wearing that triangle hat.
You're like, oh, thank you. Thank you for your time.
It's just funny to be like just completely insane. Like, it is funny.
Yeah, it is funny. And it's funny to not give a fuck about the things that like people find so valuable right
Oh,
now.
for sure. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I think people do take themselves too seriously. But also, it is funny to say that as a comedian. Be like, these activists take themselves really seriously. It's like, well, they're trying to do a good thing. But yeah. Dude, I remember one of the funniest things is I went to the Black Lives Matter protest, and that was the most serious I've ever been. I was just like, dude, we're not fucking around, man. I'm like all serious, which is so because like I do think there's a time and place for comedy. I'm like, that's not the best place to be making. And my buddy just kept fucking with me the whole time, like trying to get me to giggle. And but I remember when I get there, this is literally when I sit down, I go, what are we? What's the goal? I didn't know what the goal was. I was like,
yeah, dude, that's the problem with most of this stuff. I'm like, I get that I should be aware and try, but like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, how do I help? Do I help by just like saying I stand with them? Because that doesn't seem like much.
No,
help.
No, I think in some good ways, it's like, oh, okay, well, a lot of people protested, so I think that probably did affect the outcome of the trial.
I think we need to bomb Whole Foods.
Okay.
Just eliminate a portion of it. And if people are mad at us, be like, oh, you're mad at white people dying? That seems a little, seems a little racist.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not gonna bomb Whole Foods. It's a joke. That by the way, that's not a moral thing. I'm really worried about my YouTube's been getting less views recently, and I'm like, I don't know. It could be saying retarded 100 times. Me calling out the owner of Fun Spot Orlando as being a pedophile. I didn't do that, but somebody's just like, dude, heard that guy who runs Fun Spot is a fucking pedophile. I'm like, I think that's slander. Yeah. So yeah, we're.
But
joking.
anyway, I'm sorry to come on here and get all like virtuous.
No, it's fine. You're a hero. I'm a hero.
Yeah,
and hopefully somebody will catch us in the right moment.
Someone's gonna figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. Dude, I just had that fantasy of that moment where I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. And then like the camera's rolling and they're like, hero to the black community, Michael.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're just like, oh, I didn't even know I was.
Dude, you want to get caught so bad doing the right thing. And the answer is you only get caught doing the wrong thing. Yeah. By the way, behind the scenes of this podcast, people don't know I'm feeding kids. I'm I'm sending money to orphanages.
Yeah, you let them out of the
building-
cage twice a day and
twice a day, three
yeah,
times a day.
3 times if they're behaving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, but anyway,
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, absolutely. Where can they find you?
Patty is funky on Instagram. Also check out my podcast. Right now it's called the Untitled Podcast on my YouTube channel and whatever. You can find it all on my Instagram. But yeah, check me out.
Yeah.
Michael's on there too as well. Very funny episode.
Yeah.